strange to understand how, honestly, sometimes you meet people and you cannot believe how people don't know about their body.
Hello, Egle. Thanks so much for accepting my invitation to my podcast and YouTube. Egle, I'm asking you for help for your surname. From Fit Life Fitness Wellbeing. Welcome here. And I'm asking you as the first questions, just to share a little bit about your story. What do you do? First of all, what's your story behind it?
I'm a fitness professional for almost 20 years now, but I was always in fitness kind of life. I started my fitness biggest journey teaching the classes and so in Germany when I was a student there. And it was, my first certification was in 2006, which means it's 20 years in 3 months. And then I moved to Scotland, live in Edinburgh, and actually do the same here, except that it expanded extremely over the years. And obviously nothing to do with the studies I finished in Germany then, but kind of enjoying that way and keeps me busy.
I know we are busy people, busy women, and she's another hardworking person like me, very much. And so what are the worlds that you are walking in between?
So basically being in the fitness world is, first of all, it's very result driven. So it's a lot, let's say, surface stuff going on, a lot looks, a lot. And me getting old, understanding that it's actually not about looks anymore. For me is a longevity, extremely now also confidence in people. And I'm not calling myself a healer, obviously, but this kind of some healing process going in a lot of people, and a lot of people saying to me that it changed them as a person. So it's a big change in people's lives, starting exercising first, then adding other things. And I have to say, I'm a bit kind of, I don't want to say I'm promoting best kind of lifestyle, but I do think I live very good lifestyle myself. So they kind of follow up. And a lot, for example, as an example, but I don't drink alcohol for a lot of years now, and they follow me up. So they either stop drinking completely or they really, really aware. And some of them just comment, oh no, we're just afraid to tell you, so we better don't drink. So it's not that I'm telling them not to, but they just look up and just do the same. And honestly, the main thing is knowing how good physically they feel, that they start to get just as well in their inner kind of world. So it's confidence a lot, respect to themselves, because obviously when you start doing exercise and when you start living better lives, you start respecting yourself more. So all these things come together, physical and then inner feeling in people.
It's like when you start meditation at the beginning, the question is start from the body before being able to sit down and do long sessions of meditating on deep questions, deep concepts. Start with the body. That's always what one of my teachers used to say. Start learning how to stay seated in quiet without moving for a while before even having an object of meditation. Start from the body. So in the building confidence, starting from the body as the easiest thing for people to do.
I think so, because it's that body awareness, which a lot of people don't have. And it's strange to understand how, honestly, sometimes you meet people and you cannot believe how people don't know about their body. And then, even me as a, let's say, English is definitely not my first, second, or even English is my fifth language. Let's say so. And then even me, saying them words in English, what they should do and how the body parts are called, even that doesn't come to them natural. So you think, how is that me talking fifth language in my life? Telling them about their bodies. So people's body awareness is very poor in many cases. So just to bring that awareness, just to make them aware, and then they start to be aware of other things like breathing. For example, I teach extremely a lot Pilates. I'm extremely a lot Pilates fan. So that's not a question. I teach yoga, not so long as Pilates, but obviously yoga is a longer journey. And I don't know if I will go that long journey in my life. maybe will come at some point, maybe not. But Pilates, definitely, I'm on a journey. It's almost 20 years and I enjoy every minute of it, I have to say. And just to make people aware. And when they start to be aware, then they start to be aware of the breathing. Then they start to be aware of their core. Then they start to be aware of the limbs. So everything comes point after point, step after step.
Yeah. And yoga is very much connected with spirituality. When you teach, because you are not, I mean, you're not what you say, spiritual person, how do you teach yoga without having the spiritual element in that?
So basically, modern yoga, let's be honest, modern yoga is very much physical way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go into the spiritual way, which is obviously all ancient story and all ancient India, which I got my kind of, I read about this, but nobody teaches. If you do a training here, for example, in the UK, let's say, there's nothing like this involved unless you go and study yourself.
In India,
so that's all about this.
Exactly.
But because of the years I teach Pilates, let's say I invested much longer. Although when we come from the ancient part, Joseph Pilates was yogi as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, so all these things come together. So obviously the most oldest thing like martial arts and I understand that yoga and martial arts and everything is much, much older than everything what we do now in the modern world. Yeah. And everything is based on it and it's a foundation of everything. But obviously in the modern world, in this fast pace, we just don't get into the depth. So deep spiritual way in those environments like classes and clubs and studios, it's no time for that, basically, because people want to come in, click, 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 done, go. That's how the world functions now. So all I can help them with at this point is kind of bringing them to the physical side. And if somebody goes deeper and if somebody finds themselves very interested, more than welcome. And obviously then you can go into retreats, then you can go into workshops and you can go and do all these things. But at this point, having these groups of people is more just providing them with the kind of physical side of.
So when you are passing your knowledge to people, how are you honoring the ancient wisdom with these very challenging modern needs that you have just explained?
So I obviously understand that. As I say, for example, in Pilates, I very much understand that he was a yogi. Joseph Pilates, he based on martial arts, on gymnastics, on yoga. Let's say as an example, I was teaching Pilates this morning. So let's say example is this. And you understand very much where this all comes, and it's all simplicity. So it's never making it too difficult. Mm-hmm. So you explain things extremely simple. You just want people to follow up, which takes a while, let's be honest as well. So a lot of people just want that to happen straight away, but it's not happening. So anything they do, whatever they do, yoga journey, Pilates, anything, any exercise, running, simple running, which is also like marathon running is coming from ancient, 2,500 years old discipline. So it all comes with the patience. So it needs to be so patient to get somewhere. And people don't wait for that moment until they get somewhere.
I know, but that's the key. That's the essence for results.
Yeah, exactly. So it's consistency and patience. And this is where people, being honest, mainly failing. There is no consistency. There is no patience.
I know, but that's people's choice.
It is. But again, maybe because, I have to say, I try and I explain everybody, you need time. You can't expect things to happen so quick. But because of this lifestyle we live now in the Western world, at least, which I only know the Western world, I don't know another world, let's say. So they have no patience. Patience is dead. Consistency, okay. The ones who have consistency, they get, but it's probably also like about 7% of people.
And we are in that 7% consistent in different things in our life. Yeah, I'm not consistent, for example, in body exercise. I'm very consistent in spiritual exercise or practice and other things.
You found your way and you stick with it. So whatever way you find, it doesn't have to be physical exercise, although obviously it would benefit a lot in your life, but But yeah, whatever you find and whatever your goal is, we need to be consistent and patient.
Exactly, but people are not consistent in general for anything.
No.
So do you think this is your biggest challenge that you are having at the moment, consistency of people?
And especially, honestly, especially with this, at the moment it's crazy. It all started about a good year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I mean, UK came a bit later, America was first, but it was all for example, in my case, it's weight loss jabs.
Yeah.
Nothing again. I mean, I'm not saying my opinion about weight loss jabs in this case. It's only my opinion about how it influenced the fitness journeys. So people now, because they have this choice, they choose obviously easy option, which is always a better option.
Yeah.
Easy, great.
Yeah, I take the magic pill and things will...
Then consistency and patience died. Literally, because they now know the problem can be solved so quick and it can be done so quick and so easy, except financial side. But then they invest that financial side. When I say for them, for this price you invest it, you can invest so much in yourself. But obviously that would take work.
I know.
And work is hard.
I know. And how did you build your consistency? Is it a gift that you have from birth? Is it something that you built along the time in your younger age? You're still young, but how did you build your consistency?
Yeah. It's not definitely not from birth. Definitely not.
There are people that are very following practice rules or habits.
People,
very methodical people.
I mean, I'm extremely practical and I'm extremely, I get things done. I have to say, I'm one of those people. If it's there, I have to get it done. But it came with the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just practice. It's practicing. So all these things, for example, let's say my New Year's resolution, which will sound stupid, but I run all my life. I love running, but it's my meditation. So when people say I meditate, I say I run. Yes, so I go and run and I'm outside. I only run outside. I never run inside. I'm never on a treadmill. And I go and run. And like today, after my class in the morning, I went for a run. Sunshine, glorious. Honestly, it's very cold winter day in Edinburgh today, but very beautiful. And I had Holyrood Park and I saw Pentlands with Snowdon. And it's a joy.
Yes.
So basically I had 45 minutes of joy.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing today happened to me, let's say. So, that kind of my way. So at the beginning of the year, I said to myself, because I was lacking, and especially with the weather, when the weather changes, and I understand everybody saying, oh, it's raining, all this. So I said to myself, whatever happens, I run 3 times a week this year. And I did. But there were weeks I definitely didn't want to run. There were weeks I was on holidays and all that. But I still did, because I was like...
You also ran on holiday everywhere.
So you just follow up. And when you follow up, and then at the end it becomes a thing. Yeah. So now I don't think, I just know I run today. Today I run another day, that's 3 days a week, has to be done. And in a year, it became a thing.
Yeah.
So just waiting for the moment to happen until it becomes a thing. But obviously you need to get to that moment at some point.
Exactly. So if we need to share some advices to people, let's say a person like some of your clients that have no patience, how can they start from scratch? What are the, let's say 3, 7, how many you have easy steps to start with?
Yeah, repeat.
But starting with what and how long?
So it depends. So it depends obviously what you want to do, let's say. So, but even half an hour, I mean, even 20 minutes sometimes. Now, as an example, I have a very old lady which has had stroke 10 years ago, and now in the last 10 years had 2 cancers as well. But she wants to start moving because she uses a Zimmer frame and she can hardly stand up. And honestly, the deterioration of the body and muscles is sad, very sad. But she's very bright and she's very willing. Mm-hmm. So she's great fun. She used to be a lecturer, so very interesting woman to speak to and all that. So what we started to do, first week, she says, I want just 30 minutes. And even 30 minutes was a lot. She struggled. Now, next week, I didn't even say to her the time, but I saw we come to close to 40 minutes and I see her literally fading away because she's so tired now. And then when did I see her? Yesterday. So on Tuesday, We did 45 minutes. I never mentioned the time, nothing. We just carried on, have a little chat in between, carried on, then chat, and it became 45 minutes. And she never noticed.
Yeah. And this one was running. Was doing what?
So with her, no, she can hardly stand up.
Okay.
So it's just from sitting to standing, going around the chair. But
yeah, I found it the same.
No. So just very simple stuff like little bands exercises and so.
Yeah.
But no, she honestly very, very low kind of fitness levels, which is understandable. She loves us. But it takes, with the time disappeared for her and she didn't feel like she's doing much, or she still did it. But so it's for everybody the same. It will extend the time, but it needs to be fun. So if somebody doesn't enjoy anything you do, it will not last.
Yeah, exactly.
Never last.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like someone else has decided to that. I feel the imposition. So I'm obliged to do something and I don't like it and enjoy it. So at some point I quit.
Well, a lot of people, all these, it's a fashion thing, let's say, so trend thing. But let's say, all my friends do personal training. I have a lot of people like that. They contact me. My friends do personal. I want to do it too. I say, okay, so you go to see them. You see motivation is low, but okay, for personal, okay, we can try, and then you see it's completely not their thing. But because all the friends are doing, I'm doing too. And I was like, you don't enjoy. Why would you?
Exactly.
So you need to do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Otherwise it won't work. Honestly, it won't.
Yeah. And then, of course, I mean, for people, you just set up a personalized program if they come to you, so that then, of course, you would build their consistency on a bespoke program according to their body, to what they need. But if they just want to have movement a little bit more into their life, would you recommend that they do how long every day, 3 times per week, without your support, your personalized support?
I mean, it would be nice that people do 3 times a week. But being honest, I always say incorporate as much movement in a day as possible. For example, I have a dog. So
that's why lots of people get a dog for
example. But that makes my steps. And to be honest, sometimes very sad because these dogs get very little walks, But that's my walk. So I go and walk. And then I have time to listen to podcasts, all these things, because then again you can call it a bit of a meditation because we walk always in the woods and it becomes a very nice thing every day, except days when it's raining like yesterday, let's say. So but we still need to walk. But simple things in life like carry your groceries rather than drive the car. So if you did nothing, that would be a good start. If you did something, let's say you enjoyed, let's say Pilates class or yoga class. The thing with the yogis and Pilates people, they only do yoga or Pilates. Yeah, they don't do anything else. Or runners, that's another one. Runners only run. I was like, you need to do other things.
Yeah.
So you start incorporating other little things.
What do you think that they choose that only?
Why did they choose?
Why did they choose
because
yoga
they probably
only?
like it so much. It's their thing. And I understand that. But being honest, to do just one thing, at some point your body gets used to this in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So in yoga, you can be extremely flexible. You can do fantastic poses, asanas. You can show off in front of all the class. But then there are points in your life which are missed, So you need to train. I always say, be cross-trained and you will win. So let's say, do some cardio, do your steps, then do your yoga, fantastic. But then incorporate maybe carrying your groceries. And maybe if it's more, maybe start to carry heavier dumbbells or go to the class where they lift some weights. All these things, little incorporations in life. But try to do different things rather than just one thing.
It just maybe sometimes also have people limited time. So they
I get that. And again, it depends from the age and so I completely get that. But even 20 minutes a day, any movement would be better than no movement.
Go around the square where you live or
anything. Go in the evening.
Avoid the bus for 2-3 stops if you can walk.
Anything, honestly, any movement. People avoid anything. They sit all day long. They take bus or car home. And they sit on the sofa at the end of the evening. So it's basically sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. And you get all these people with very sore backs, with very bad postures. Yeah. difficult situations, and by the time they need to retire, they want to retire.
Then it's too late, of course, to train the body, and then
they start though, and it's very often this case that people start training when they get retired, and they wait to get retired to get fit. I was like, maybe just get fit every day a bit,
Yeah, that's typical of people, exactly, to wait for the pension time when they are retired to do all the things that they wanted to do, and then in the meantime...
One of the guys who used to come to my classes years and years ago, Phil, he is now High Rocks athlete. In his age group, I think he's a champion of High Rocks or something. So basically went that way for High Rocks. And he said, that's his saying, he said, it's easier to stay fit than to become fit.
Yes,
and it's the best thing you can say. I always say, just stay fit, just carry on, even a low key, don't do much, but just carry on all the time.
Because the moment you let yourself go, it just goes back down and down and down, and then you're done at some point.
And then just start is hard. So why would you put yourself in a situation where you really need to start again?
Yeah.
You're better off just carry on a little bit all the time.
Yeah. And how do you recommend to people to stay motivated?
See, that was recently a lot of talks and all the podcasts and all the books and articles. And I thought that's a good thing. Motivation is the thing you cannot trust. It's true. So don't trust your motivation, but trust your discipline. So trust your list. But for example, on my list yesterday, I literally put in a calendar what I do that day. So I teach my classes, I do this, but I have my own training. And for example, yesterday in the morning was to run. But yesterday, the weather in Edinburgh was horrendous. So I thought to myself, why would I put myself through all this? So I ran today, and yesterday I went to the gym, but I still did it. I didn't miss the training.
You work around. You just have the flexibility.
So be flexible, but don't miss the week's plan. And then with the time, you will see after month 2, 3, it becomes like, okay, tick, tick. So it becomes a thing. But don't trust motivation. Trust your discipline, honestly, as much as it's hard. And people say, but wow, how to do it? I'm busy. We're all busy.
And do you think it's easier to have the famous accountability with a group of people instead of
a lot of people a lot of people really like groups because obviously it keeps them motivated, and I think it's an age thing as well. For example, I seen my daughter's 17, and I was listening to this podcast the other day, was Stacey Sims, which I drop out all these names now, but I like all these people, they're scientists which talk a lot about fitness and health and all that, and she was saying the trend with the young girls, for example, they like team sports because the confidence is not so high in that age, and they don't feel alone as solo performer confident, so they're better off in a team. And my daughter, for example, loves team sports. Mm-hmm. She does all the hockey and all this. And I'm a solo runner, for example. I'm completely happy to run on my own. I don't need any group.
Because you don't need motivation. You are...
But I'm happy to listen to my music, to look at my environment,
Yeah.
So I think... We go through stages in life, and I think some people, and I know a lot of people, especially my PT clients, for example, they're extremely high-performing people and extremely busy. So, for example, I go and see them 6 a.m. in the morning, as I did this morning. They do before working day because they know the day will be so busy. But, for example, a lot of them don't like group environment because they are known, for example, or they feel like everybody's looking at them. Although I always say to them, nobody's looking at you. People just busy about themselves all the time. But a lot of people have this feeling that people look at them and maybe they don't perform so great. So then maybe you are not a group person. But a lot of people actually perform better in a group.
Yeah.
So it just depends. You find your way. But I always say to people, find your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything you do.
Like when I have to go out for a walk, I like going on my own, because then if I going with someone, then you start chatting, speaking, and I miss the enjoying element of nature, the silence, the birds over there, and I'm just still busy in my mind. So I never go for a walk, unless that's the only way to meet a friend, but that would not be my practice at all. So it's not something that I enjoy. And when I take this time on my own, it's my time. So because probably I'm interacting all the time with people, teaching with groups, seeing a lot of people for lots of reasons. So I also honor the me time, the my time.
See, exactly this. So when you see me time, and it was big trend at some point.
Yes,
and I remember on Instagram, everybody on the stories was putting me time. And I was like, depends how you see it. Walking dog for me is my time.
Yes.
I love it. So it's not like I need to lie in the bath, and call it me time.
No,
so
me time is doing something on my own, whatever.
Yeah, but I can
no
do
one else
things,
is involved. Of course.
So I think people think, oh, I have to go to the gym. It's like such a horrible thing. But if you start seeing it as your me time,
Yeah.
so why not? Or go for a walk, even brisk, a bit movement, and so it's your time. It's fantastic time. So it's nothing wrong with this, doing exercise and your time.
Yeah, 100%. But people honor a lot this element of taking care of their well-being nowadays. It seems then either if they do it properly or not, but they speak a lot about taking care of themselves.
But some people, it's just this overreaction a bit. Some people like, if I don't have an hour for the gym, or if I don't have money for personal training, but to be honest, every 20 minutes of the day count. So it doesn't have to be whatever time, or sometimes honestly, like there is no time. So squeeze 30 minutes somewhere, even brisk walk. Fantastic. Why not? Get a bit of a sweat. Great. So no need to overthink.
Yeah,
make it as simple as possible.
Where the mind comes is at overcomplicating things.
Exactly.
In general.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And so where people can find you in online, Instagram, website, classes, what do you teach?
So at the moment, for my own, I teach a lot for the clubs in the city, and it just happened so over the years. But I teach my own Pilates at the moment. I teach
here in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh, it's all in Edinburgh. And I teach boot camps outside, which is actually great. Some days terrible weather, but being honest, it's just great to be in the fresh air. And people who come, they just love after a long working day just to be in the fresh air, which they probably would not get that day at all. So that's a good thing. And then I do senior class, which is actually the most popular at the moment and the most loyal class. I just love them. They're fantastic because honestly, they just get so attached and they are so pleased with everything, and they're just so pleased that they stopped falling, and you see them honestly trying so hard. So this is very rewarding class, that one. And then I do a lot of personal training. I do very different groups. Obviously, they say you attract people like you. So I'm in a menopausal age. I attract a lot of menopausal women because they are going through exactly the same what I'm going. So I find, and actually a lot of my clients say, I find it's easy for us to communicate because there are days, honestly, they are terrible, and there are days they are much better. So we understand each other very well that way. And then I teach senior. I have actually personal training senior people, very senior, which struggle even to go off the chair, but they want to get off the chair. So we do different things with them. And then I have female and male, I have to say, different people. And then day retreats, and planning a huge retreat next year.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to anticipate something about that? Where is it going to be?
Yeah, so I'm from Lithuania myself, and I want to take people to my home country and show them the country and well-being and fitness sites. So will be mixed sightseeing, well-being and fitness, and it will be Pilates, yoga, maybe some other forms of exercise. Will be our typical traditional saunas, will be sightseeing in the capital and other places. So yeah, that will happen probably first week of September next year.
Beautiful. Really, really excited to know more. So it will be published on your website, which is the name of your website?
www.fitlifefitnesswellbeing.com. So
and it's the same name for Instagram, where people can find you. Yeah. You don't have any other channels like TikTok?
I don't have TikTok, no. I just have Facebook, same name. And I have Instagram, same name. Yeah, Fit Life Fitness Wellbeing.
Yes, beautiful. So thanks so much, Egle, for your time, for allowing us to be in a world different from all the conversation that I normally enter into. And it's always fascinating to see the other world, which the spiritual and the physical world, which are connected. Because
exactly. So if one doesn't work, another one won't work either.
No, exactly.
They have to go together. You need to feel good in all ways.
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful.